And right now I'm gonna start with the color correction, which is Stila palette. I'm just color correcting under her eyes. She has some freckles and she also has some redness under her skin. So I'm also gonna go ahead and use some Herbarium red corrector. And the mixture of both, it gives you a lot of nice dewiness and it gives you the perfect, it's gonna give you the perfect complexion. Red corrector, you can find it on blushington.com and you can use the code Eduardo20. Make sure you guys link on the chat box. That way you guys can see my screen bigger. And also all the products that I'm gonna be using today is gonna be on the screen, and you can also find them on blushington.com. The code is Eduardo20, as you guys can see. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask. As you can see, her skin is much more even now and a lot vibrant, and that's just with the CC corrector. Now I'm gonna go over with Becca Aqua Luminous, which is really, really amazing because it's sheer, and with one little bit, it goes a long way after you did your color correction. You wanna make sure your beauty blender is damp, and you're just gonna go over very lightly because her skin is already even, so she doesn't need much more. And this is gonna give the right coverage, and you're gonna look beautiful, glowing for the beautiful date night. I'm gonna be doing Smoky Mirrors, which is a Blushington signature look. It's very pretty, very easy to do. It's a 1, 2, 3. Look how much easier it is, look up, when you do your color correction. Your skin, her skin is flawlessly covered, it's dewy, and she doesn't need anything else on it. So now, since I did the color correction and I used some of the color correct above her lids, that I'm gonna be using as the setter. And I'm gonna go over with a little bit of Jouer Set powder, just to make sure that the foundation goes nice and even on it. Now that I did that, you wanna use a fluffy brush that we have at blushington.com as well, by Vidalium. I'm gonna do her eyes all with one brush, because everybody wants to make it easier, you know? You want one easy thing, one easy way to do your eyes. And the fluffy brush by Vidalium, it's amazing because you can do your whole entire contouring of your eyes with that. Now, I'm gonna start with the Jouer palette. And I'm gonna go and highlight on the tear area and under her brows with the lightest color. With the lightest color that I'm using is this one on the palette. It's a very spring palette, but it can also turn into a very, for the winter time or for spring, because it's a lot of mix of colors. So now I'm gonna go with the lighter pinkish color before I contour it. All I'm doing right now is just highlighting her eyes because I want it to make nice and elongated. And now I'm gonna smoke it. Great idea. So now I'm gonna go smoke it with a brown. I'm smoking with browns. What you're gonna do is, you're gonna come on this area of the eyes, which is where it folds, and you're gonna hold the brush by the end of it, and I'm using a little bit of the brown, doing a wind wipe motion, back and forth, very lightly. You wanna always apply lighter and build layers, because if you apply too much color in it, you're gonna see lines. You don't want to see any lines on it. You want the other colors to gradually go from light to dark. And Jouer has so many amazing palettes, and this is one of them. It's my favorite. It has so many beautiful colors. So today I'm doing a smoky brown. And this style of eyes on one of Blushington's signature looks, which is called Smoky Mirrors. Now I'm gonna go in the V area right here with a little bit of dark, which is it's a blackish color that comes in the palette, just to give some definition. What you're doing is you're coming with the brush and going this way and meeting with the color on the crease. And that is gonna just elongate the eyes, making her eyes longer. Doing the same thing the next side. And this is very easy to accomplish. It's not hard. I'm using 3 colors so far, and that's all I'm gonna go. And the mirror part, which is the nice shiny, it's kind of like watery diamonds. It's by Stila, and that's what I'm gonna make the mirror like in just a second. Now that I did this, I'm gonna go over with the brow. Look up for me. I'm using a Vidalian brush as well. It's very pointy but still fluffy because I want very smoky and shadowy. Look up. And I'm only going halfway. I don't want a defined line. Doing the same thing on the side and meeting with the end. Look up. And that is so beautiful. Now I cleaned the, I'm gonna clean it and I'm gonna go over with a little bit of pink. Okay. Just in the corner to give them nice touch of pop. It's a very iridescent color, so it just makes it pop. It makes it look really pretty, giving them mirror-like. And that is it. Now I'm gonna make a liner with one of my favorite Stila Smudge Pot, which you can use for not only to make it a liner, but you can also use to make wing liners, and it's totally waterproof, but very easy to remove whenever you want to come off. And it makes the best eyeliners ever. And now I'm doing right now is a tight line. See, just defining her eyes more with the Smudge Pot. Now I'm gonna go back in the second eye and I'm gonna do the same thing. You wanna use a brush that's angled and fine. The product is very easy to use. Once you start using, and you also can use it in your eyebrows. It's really, really nice to just use it as a wax on the brow. But that's not what I'm doing with her brows today. Today I'm gonna use the Brow Gal. I'm going over and I'm doing an ombre eyebrow, which is the 3 colors that come in a Brow Gal. You start it from the light to the dark. Of course, the dark is gonna be in the ends. And gives a beautiful effect from the light to dark very gradually. That's why I love Brow Gel products. Now I'm gonna go and apply some of the Stila shimmer on it, just to give the nice touch of glam and mirror. I'm gonna just put it right on this area. And you use a concealer brush over it just to spread it so you don't have like a demarcation line. And you can see how beautiful and the difference that it makes when you close your eyes and you blink. You can see how it glams. And it's very pretty because you can use all over your face, not only in your eyes. And you just spread it a little. And that's what I'm gonna do now. Now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna contour her face. Now we're almost done with the look. The look is pretty much, you wanna concentrate on the eye, make sure that the eye is popping and is looking fabulous. I'm gonna use Ipanema Sun by Becca. You can also find it on Blushington.com. I'm using a big fluffy brush because I just want it to look very nice and natural. You wanna apply it on the cheekbone right here, or you can also make a fish face, sucking your cheeks in, and you can see the cheekbone. You want to go from the end of the eyebrow going up in circle motions and in the hairline. That's going to give you a nice oval shape, which is the most attractive shape, is the oval shape. So you want to find the oval areas of your face and darken with the bronzer. And you're doing the same thing on the side, very lightly. You don't want to overdo it. It's just nice night in, but you still want to look gorgeous. And the same thing on this side. Now that I did that, I'm gonna go over with the highlighter. And I love PYT products because they're all organic products. They're all clean and beautiful. And this is one of the best highlighters that I love to use. PYT, and you can put it right on top of it. I'm gonna highlight a little bit of the nose, the bridge of the nose. You don't wanna highlight the tip of the nose because you don't wanna look the Tin Man look. You only wanna highlight the bridge. A little more in the cheeks. Okay. And that's it. Now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put a nice blush on. And today I'm gonna go with Tiger Lily by Becca. It comes off orange, but it goes on beautifully. And you're gonna go right on the cheek, the apple, and just bring it up. Very lightly. It's gonna give you that gorgeous sun-kissed look. It's so pretty. It's like one of my favorite blushes ever. It's amazing. It's called Tiger Lily. Now you guys can see how amazing she looks. Now that I already highlighted her cheeks and everything, I want something extra. So I want to just make sure that her cheeks are nice and glimmy to match her eyes. So you guys can see how the cheeks are nice and glimmy. You can use the same product by Stila, not only on the eyes, but it can highlight many parts of your face with it. So now that I'm almost done with it, I'm gonna finish with her lips so I can start on my second look. And right now I'm going to use Undressed by Kevin Aquan. Something very light because we made the eyes pretty dark. So I want to make sure the lips are nice and nude. And sorry again, guys, for today. Little technical difficulties. It is a pleasure being here with you guys. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask. Another amazing gloss that I'm gonna use on her today is called Fearless by Nude Envy. They are fantastic. Once you try Nude Envy, you can never stop. It just goes on so amazing. And it's a beautiful nude color. And of course, I went ahead and kind of curled her hair earlier today. And I used some of the products from Blushington, which is called Virtue. I used some Virtue on her hair. And now I'm just gonna spray her hair with some Virtue and show you guys how beautiful it looks when you use the Virtue pomade. And this is the look for the evening for the nice date night. And these curls, they were pin curls with a little bit of the spray after she got out of the shower. And I let her air dry it. And this is the hair. Look how amazing she looks. And she's ready for that date night today, guys. And don't forget to set it because it's one of the important steps to do. And I'm using the Botanical by One Love Organics Vitamin D closer. It's very light. It sets your face beautifully and it makes sure the makeup stays on a lot longer. And this is my first look. Thank you so much, guys. I'm gonna start my next look right now. Now, welcome to the chair, Richard. Richard.
Hello, everyone.
Richard has been with us since the beginning. And today I'm gonna do something concentrating on the lips. Want a nice bold lips for the nice date night tonight. So I'm gonna go ahead and moisturize Richard. Make sure that Richard is nice moisturized. Richard is a little bit dry, so I'm gonna go ahead and use Skin Dew. You always wanna prep the skin, wanna bring everything up. Everything up, because it's gonna help your foundation sit on much longer and it's not gonna sit on the lines, and you wanna always hydrate your skin. And I'm gonna use some of Beauty RX, one of these amazing eye creams, because it helps your, it takes fine lines away because it exfoliates your eyes. It's just not only gonna help you look so much youthful, but also when you apply your makeup, it's sometimes when the concealer sits under your lines, your fine lines, that's the cream to use. You would never do that again. So now that Richard is ready and moisturized, I wanna color correct Richard. Richard likes to go in the sun. So this is one of my favorite. It's Glow Screen. We have it at blushington.com, and Glow Stick as well is the same product. It's a 40% 40 SPF. And what this does is illuminating. It has illuminating agent in it, which helps all the imperfections, and it also makes your skin really, really nice and dewy. And also protect your skin from the sun. It's a beautiful thing to wear when you are in a nice date night, because you want to look gorgeous and nice and radiant. And that's the product to use. Now that I did that, I want to color correct Richard a little bit, because Richard has some a little bit of melasma on his face from being in the sun. So I gotta color correct that, and I'm gonna use the Stila palette, one of my favorites. I'm using the Stila palette pretty much all over the places that are the color's not perfect. I don't wanna use too much foundation. So that's the best way to do, especially when you shave a lot, you have discoloration in your skin. If you color correct, you're gonna use less foundation. Your foundation is gonna go on a lot smoother, and you're gonna have the perfect match. That's how you get the perfect match foundation. So you go over I go over very lightly, a very light layer. It makes a huge difference. And also when you go over your eyes to cover the dark circles, depending how dark your dark circles are, for somebody that has a darker skin like me, you want to use the orange green. It has pretty much every color on the spectrum in the palette. So it works for everyone. Even if it's like you're a little darker in the summer because you like to go in the sun. Everybody gets a little darker in the summer, wanting or not. So that's what the Stila palette is here for, to make sure you're nice and even. And let's not forget, because Richard has a little redness on his face, so I'm using the CC Correct from Herborium. Pretty amazing product. It goes on super smooth. So on the areas that are red, I'm just gonna put it on, and I'm gonna blend it with the Beauty Blender. I want it to go on nice and smoothly. Beauty blend away. Just with the color corrector, you can see the difference on how even he is. Now, I want to just use a little tiny bit of Aqualuminous because I just want to make his skin a little bit more luminous. And Aqualuminous, especially for a date night or a summer night, it looks really, really pretty under the candle. It's a really gorgeous foundation. And it's very, very, very light. I literally use like a less than a drop. So I'm going over very lightly for evening it out everything. Look at how beautiful and even his skin is. So now I'm gonna set everything with the powder. Setting powder, and we're gonna start his eyes. I'm using the Jouer powder in tan because I want to just add on a little bit of color to him. It comes in many different colors. This setting powder, it does not make your face look chalky at all. It's super beautiful, and it just makes your face still dewy, but it's much smoother. Now that I set the eyes and I set everything, we're gonna start with the eyes. I'm gonna use a different palette from Jouer, which is a darker palette. So I'm using today the matte palette. Very, very nice and glamorous. Now, I want to just go over the eye and highlight those beautiful brow bones. I want to start with the brow bone And right here in the area of the eye, where is the teardrop? Because once I contour it, I wanted a very light eye. It's not very light, but it's gonna be a very nice and sultry eye. But I wanna concentrate on the lip. So now that I did that, and you can use all the same brush. I'm using an orange burnt color, close it, to bring those green eyes out. You go right where the eye folds. He has a little bit of a hooded eye, so you gotta make sure that his eyes is gonna show the eyeshadow. So you really gotta be careful on how you apply the color. So you have to go very lightly from light to dark. You wanna build the color up right in the right area, which is right on the crease. Hooded eyes can be a bit difficult to do because sometimes you just don't look like you're having eyeshadow on, but you just gotta do the right way. And it's not that hard to do it. So I'm going right here like a wind wipe motion, back and forth. And once he opens his eyes, it's super green. That's the great thing about colors. Depending on your eye color, it just totally changes the shade of your eyes, like you have contacts in. And also, you guys can go on blushington.com and get a one-on-one class, and you guys can get a lot of amazing tips and information. Like some really awesome beauty tips that is like super fast and easy to apply. And it's so much fun. You can also have a pretty party, which is a group of girls, a group of family, or a family, or whoever, friends that you haven't seen in a long time. You guys just gather together, and you can go up to 12 people or more, and have the makeup artist having a great time showing you how to do your makeup, and you take pictures in the end, and it's really a lot of fun. It's a very positive way of still social distance and see your friends nowadays with the new normal. And everything that I'm using here today, you guys can look in the chat box. You can find everything on blushington.com. You can use my promo code. As you guys can see, come closer, like his eyes are very green now because I'm using this brown burned orange color. Look up. But I'm gonna turn it into a bit darker. I just want his eyes really to pop. I don't know if you can you guys see it? See, it's really like popping. Okay. It's very easy to do. I'm using only 2 colors. Now I'm gonna go a bit darker, just to make the eyes elongate the eyes. Just in the V area, come closer. I'm just going right in the V, bringing it in. Just brushing it in very lightly. I just applied a little bit of the brown just to give make the eyes pop a little more and just bring it out in a cat motion. And you want to make sure you really blend. That's why it's not always better to apply to build the color from light to dark, because that way you can really have that beautiful transition of light to dark with no demarcation lines. And that's the trick of, that's the beauty of the makeup, when it has no lines. Now I'm going over with the brush with no makeup on it, just to really, really blend.
And remember, if you guys have any questions, put them right in the chat.
Yes.
Get them answered for you.
I clean the brush now. Ask any questions, and I'm just going over with the same brush just to blend, bringing everything in, mixing all the colors together where there's no demarcation lines. So now I am going to go ahead, just clean a little bit of the fallout. I want to use a little bit of Smudge Pot on his eyes as well, just to give a nice tight line. It's also easier because if you use liquid eyeliner, you close it, your eyes trembles a lot. This is the best way to do it. He has a little bit of tremble on his eyes. And look, I'm not going all the way into the end of the eyes. I'm just going into the middle. I'm just really concentrating on making the eyes more of a cat shape. I'm just bringing it into the middle. Open. Look up. So now, if you guys can see it, how it's nice and dark and it's really popping. So now that I have all that done, I want to use a little bit of mascara. First, I want to go ahead and curl his lashes. Look up. Look down. Look up. Curling the lashes, it makes a huge difference because it gives a really nice curl to the lash, making your lash looks a lot longer. And if you have a good mascara to go with it, it makes it a huge difference.
And that's the name of the mascara. Huge.
Huge. Look down. And on that date night, you really want to make sure you get the bottom lashes as well, because you want to have the nice fluttery lashes. You want to look beautiful. And lashes, it really makes a big difference when you have the nice spidery lashes. And I'm going to just contour his face a little bit now using my ankle brush by Bedalium, and I'm using Panama Sun. So I'm going right here on this area of his face, which is the cheekbone. You want to go in circles. And this is on preference, how dark you would want to contour your face. Some people like a really sharp, defined contour. You want a sharper contour, you can go over with this brush and just really get a sharp line. And then you go over with the fluffier brush. It's all on your preference on how sharp you want your contour. You want to go all in the hairline because you want to have all of this area in the T-zone bright to give the beautiful oval shape. The oval shape is one of the most attractive shapes on the face. So it really makes a big difference when you have that beautiful oval shape look. And now I'm gonna go and just contour his nose a little bit. You can use a fluffy brush to contour. Another option you can do as however you like. If you want it darker, you can make it darker. But I just want to make it nice and slightly. Now I'm gonna use the highlighter by PYT to highlight the areas of his face, the bridge of the nose, a little bit on the forehead, some right on the cheekbones. And one thing that I love to do, and ladies, this makes a huge difference, right on the top of the lip. Just right here on the on the bow of the lip, because once you apply your lip liner, it just looks so pretty. Come closer. You see the bow of his lip? Right on the bow of the lip, you go over with the lighter, with the highlighter. So now I want to have a nice blush, something to pop, something that is also made like nice and flushed. So this is my favorite by Jouer. It's a duo, and I'm gonna apply right in the cheek and just blend it in with the rest of it. It's gorgeous. It's super illuminating, very radiant. It's an amazing blush. It is so gorgeous. Now it's time for the lips, and you guys are gonna see a huge difference on the lips. I'm doing a very dramatic lips today, so hold on with me, guys. I'm doing right now a nice red lip. So since the bow of the lip is highlighted, you want to be very careful not to go over. You want that to look nice and perfect. What's wrong? Richard have nice thick lips, so this is the perfect lip to show on this. For those ladies that have luscious lips, and if you want to also just go and turn your lips into luscious lips, that's always possible. I'm using a Stila lip gloss, the lip stain, one of my favorites. It's called Beso by Stila. Those stains are amazing to stay on all day. Don't over lips. This is very hard to fix it. Close the lips. It's very, very, no, the red lips, you always want to get it nice and perfect. If you guys can see, this is the gorgeous lips of my Richie. This is Beso, and this is will stay on all day long. Okay, thank you. Another way to also apply your red lipstick, you want to go over with a lip brush. And on Blushington.com, you can find amazing lip brushes from Bedallium. They last you forever. I have my kit for a long time. You just gotta take care of your kit. Wash it all the time. Make sure it's clean. And that's how you make sure your brushes are safe and sound. Red is a very, very don't move, because if you move me, you mess me up. And now that I did this, I want to make sure, just want to put a little pop to it. To me, it's a little too dull. So, and it's a stain. This color is a stain color. So when you put it on, it's very matte. Okay. So I'm going over with Whisper right in the center to give that nice glossy look. Just good. I'll just spread into the end just to get up here. And that's my look for the evening with Richard. And the last thing that I'm gonna do now, I'm just gonna go over Richard's eyebrow with a little bit of my favorite, I like to do ombre on the eyebrows because it's nice. It's a nice transition from light to dark, especially on the eyebrows that is very predominant like this. You just want to fill in the sparse areas. Just the sparse areas. His eyes look so amazing and super, super in. Very nice and big. I hope you guys enjoy the look for the evening. You guys can see it up close now. It's very, very sexy for the evening. The eyes are not too much, but I just wanted to show you guys something different for the evening. If you can always have both. And thank you so much for joining for this complimentary class. It's been an amazing experience being with you in all these 5 weeks. And you can find the registration, the link for Lauren's new series in the chat through Blushington's official Facebook page. Remember to use Eduardo20 to purchase any of the products on Blushington.com and receive 20% off shipping. Shipping is free with the order of $100 and plus. Thank you so much, guys.